は闇を抜けて光の海へ夢が散らばる無限の宇宙さ星の架け橋渡ってゆこう
And it's episode 88 of the Red Leaf Retrocast, anime edition here. I'm your host, JD, joined by Tori and Hickey, as the usual. How you guys doing?
Go, Tori, go.
Come on, Hickey. No.
Whoa,
You're the
don't
one who
everyone
actually has
speak
something
at
to
once.
say. You're the one who actually has stuff to say.
Oh, that's why I wanted you to be the last.
I don't have anything to say, so hi, I'm me. I'm Tori. I'm doing good. Hickey, go.
Hi. My shower caught on fire. And I also discovered that apparently electrical showers aren't a thing in other places. I thought
They weren't a thing, it's just I don't have one.
you never heard of it. It was a little bit more than I don't have one.
I've heard of electrical heated showers, but not with the actual wiring in the shower.
It's more the wiring thing that concerns me.
But how the fuck do you think they work? They work by...
They have wiring in it, but not exposed like that. What the fuck?
It was exposed now because it caught on fire, but it wasn't exposed before.
Yeah! Alright, fantastic. Because that's the thing that fucking got to me. I'm just seeing, like, wiring up to the fucking roof, and I'm just like...
Yeah.
What?
They had isolation tape. You know, electrical tape.
Oh, tape.
Yeah.
Of course.
And then it caught on fire because the voltage is different. It was demanding too much from the wire in the wall, and then it caught on fire.
Yeah, that's what I'm always worried about when I'm taking a shower. Gee, I hope the voltage isn't different.
Oh, that wasn't the problem. The problem was my father don't want to change the thing, and it caught fire once before, but it was a small fire. The thing is, like, imagine you're just taking a nice shower, and then you smell something burning, and then you realize that melted electrical tape just fell on you. It wasn't pleasant. It didn't happen to me, thank God. It was very close to happening, but I was like, that shit will caught on fire, so please change the wiring. He's like, just take cold showers. Changing the wire. And I was like, do you realize we painted the ceiling 3 months ago, and it was a pain. Please. And now guess what happened? My brother came home drunk in the middle of the night, and he took a shower. The shit got on fire, and he didn't realize because it wasn't obvious enough. So yeah,
Flames are just not as obvious as they used to be.
it's on top.
Yeah.
It's on top of you, and there was a
Nice.
smell of burning shit before, so it didn't change much. Maybe the black smoke. It would be a good hint, but there was a smoke before as well. Again, I blame my old man. He should have changed the wires or changed the shower. I don't know. It's okay.
I am genuinely worried right now. Maybe you should have realized that there was black smoke. But there's black smoke in there all the time.
Well, the shit
That's
was
not a
burning.
good
It's just
sign.
Tori, it's called Brazilian steam.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
Brazilian steam is black. Got it.
yes, actually. But that's a story from another time. Also, I found a vegetable spiral cutter slicer. It just spawned in my kitchen, and the package is in German. So I don't know where my father found that, but I believe he bought in the 90s. And he just was like, oh shit, look at this cool thing I bought in the 90s. I'm gonna just put in the shelf now. So yeah, funny things. Many things.
And not take it out of the pack, because why would you do that?
Yeah, I don't know. There's probably some weirder things in the kitchen stored. Because we have some sealed boxes that haven't been opened since I was a kid.
Oh my god.
Fucking god.
So like
Iggy.
my father has the same thing as I do, where if he sees something interesting, he'll just buy, even though he doesn't have any practical reason to buy it. He's just like, this shit is cool. I have the money. Buy. So I might have.
I have the money. Well, if you have money, why don't you change the electrical wiring? Nah.
No, because that's practical. It's less fun.
Yeah.
Impulsive spending is where it's at.
You see,
Tori.
if it doesn't change the
clearly.
wire, that's my father's logic. Probably. I don't know. I don't answer questions anymore. If he doesn't change the wire and there's a chance of the shower catching on fire, that means we're not going to take hot or very hot showers. That means in the end we're not using the electricity, which means we save money.
We're thinking long term here.
That's probably why he never changed it, but now it's just charred beyond repair, I guess. So yeah. My father's a
So
weird
we have an
person.
anime we're
Yeah.
reviewing today.
My father's
yeah.
my father's with. See, that's why I don't ask questions anymore. I just go with it. It was like the fucking shower cat caught on fire on the fucking the middle of the night, and you didn't woke up. I was like, dude, cool.
I'm sorry to say, JD, but there is no anime that's more interesting than Hickey's life.
I suppose.
Well, not to mention the fact I'm a lawyer, so I have a bunch of other interesting shit that happens. And, just like brothers fucking and having babies and shit.
And for legal reasons, that's a joke.
I wish it was. That one,
Shut up.
that one, I honestly... Did I talk about the... I didn't talk about the corpse, right? How about the exhumation I almost had to do?
Excuse me?
I almost had to do a legal action to do an exhumation.
Okay.
Yeah, because the guy was buried in a public graveyard with other two bodies. So the widow was like, what if in 2 years when I go get the bones back, I don't know which bones are from my deceased man. I was like, well, shit. I honestly don't want to go there and look at the body being exhumated because I'll probably have to do that. And I was like, well, that's okay because the other two bodies, they were buried in 2017. So it's okay. The family lost the right to claim the bodies. And I was like, well, maybe they are... I don't even know if they are still buried there. The bones are still in the grave. So like we had to, investigate to see if they're still there. Then if it was, we would have to see the laws if they permit you bury another corpse without taking off the bones because they respect a distance. Because she said the grave was a little bit shallow, so might be that. And I honestly didn't want to see two skeletons and a decomposed human body being, excavated.
Sounds pretty cool, though.
It sounds in theory, but in practice, it's like not that fun, especially the smell. Like the smell is not that good. Especially because your bowels are the first thing to like dislocate and melt. So it's not fun.
Yeah, I watched South Park. I learned that firsthand.
No, not the... Yeah, I know what the fucking... What is that? The Walmart episode? No, that's not it. Yeah, it's the Walmart episode, but that doesn't happen. Anyway, I almost had to go to a cemetery and see people dug up a body, and it's not a fun experience to have.
Oh, come on. Haven't you ever read Kurosagi Corpse Service?
No.
All kinds of shenanigans get involved with dead bodies.
I still need to watch that. Or read that in that case.
Read it.
I was about to say. Can't watch it yet. Maybe someday.
Maybe Sunday. Oh yeah. And then like what happened yesterday. well, I was in the restaurant and I was watching the news, and apparently there's stairwell on the right side of the restaurant. Apparently, in the middle of the night, a
Whoa. Before you say anything, I'm going to guess what happened.
okay,
In the stairwell.
yes,
You caught two people fucking.
no, they
Tori, you wanna take a
they
stab?
fuck in the middle of the
Nah,
night, the
good.
crackheads. So a transvestite beat the shit out of a homeless person, almost killed the guy after he stepped on a crackhead dog of like pile of shit.
That was going to be my third guess.
And I was like, oh, it's right next to me. I was like, cool. The place I work is a little bit dangerous nowadays.
Crackheads
Nah.
and beatings. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, the daily life in Brazil, people. This is real life, I guess.
I guess that's just my life. I like to think it's just my life and everything else is just normal.
Just goes along with it.
People just have normal everyday lives,
Yeah.
and then there's you.
Yeah, I just don't want to think that is just. Oh yeah, no, this is the average Brazilian experience. It's like, that is a little bit too fucked. I still like my country a lot, so I'll just think it's me because I have a history of really, really bad luck. So I just think it's just things around me just don't work very well.
So we have an anime called Galaxy Express
Yeah.
39 we're going to review.
We do.
We
Okay.
sure do. I beat all the Yakuza games on the side.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah, how about
Even
that?
7?
I beat Yakuza 5 and 6. Not 7.
No.
I just started playing 7.
Are you playing on the
Yeah.
PS4
Oh, PS7?
or the PC?
PS4.
Okay. Are you going to buy the PS5?
Please.
If I ever see one in the wild, yeah.
Yeah, that is true. What about the Xbox?
I'm 0 for 7 on trying to acquire a PS5, be it that online.
No,
or
no,
in
don't.
a
Yeah,
store.
you don't want to buy it from the scalpers, right?
Oh God, no.
How much is that?
Oh, I've seen one on eBay sell for $1,200.
What?
Let's check this out actually right now. eBay.
Oh yeah, they are gonna skyrocket as far,
I think
especially now because
PS5
Christmas is coming
consoles.
up, and Sony has basically confirmed that if you don't have one, you're fucked for Christmas.
Yeah, I thought it would be more expensive here than the PS4. The PS4 was like 4K, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, currently I'm
Like,
currently
that
I'm
was
looking at one on
expensive.
eBay.
But the PS5 is like 4,500. I was like, you know what? That's not a huge jump. I was expecting to go to 6K, honestly. Especially because of how fucked up the economy is now with everything that happened. But it wasn't that big of a jump. I was like, oh, that is interesting.
Yeah, I'm
I
seeing one on
guess.
eBay here that's currently at $1,200 with 45 bids.
Oh my god, people are just dumb. Holy shit.
Yeah, $960, 17 bids. Buy it now for $1,700. So yeah, the scalpers need to be stabbed, basically.
Damn.
But yeah, there's various online outlets that are trying to sell PS5s, but there's only a finite window, of course, that you could try to buy it online. And the closest I've gotten was to click the purchase now button, and it just, as soon as I hit it, it just says, "Oh, sold out."
Yeah, it doesn't reload. It
no
doesn't
chance.
load it. Yeah, it doesn't load it.
You're not going to be
Page.
able to beat that because people have bots out that basically buys up everything that goes on sale
Right.
the moment it goes on
Right.
sale.
You know,
Yeah, and that's the problem. So I'm just gonna have to maybe test my luck come Black Friday, because GameStop and various outlets will have a few in store that you can get. But
Or you could
I-
invest
I-
in a good old gaming PC.
I have a gaming PC, but I won't be
Well,
able
then
to
you don't have
play.
invest in- Well, fuck that.
Nah, I don't want to do that.
what about the
yeah,
Xbox?
of course.
How's the Xbox going?
Oh, I have no interest in the Xbox.
There's no real point to buying the Xbox, especially now since you can get Xbox Game Pass on PC. So just get that.
You can buy just you can play every single Xbox game then?
Not every single one, but a lot of them.
No.
At least the ones I've been interested in.
Oh. Yeah. I was looking at it. The last thing I saw was the actual finished product. And they show like this beautiful black or like white box in every single promotional thing. And then when you see the thing, there's like this huge hole in the side for the vents.
Yep.
I was like, holy shit. Damn.
Yeah, the fucking design on the next gen consoles is just not. Nope. They should have worked on that.
They should have worked on that. Yeah, but I did accomplish my goal of beating all the Yakuza games in 2020. So that's really fun.
Yeah, I should hopefully be able to finish Ghost of Tsushima after I'm done with my exams, which is starting now next week, and like the end of next week. So
Hell yeah.
mid-December, I'll be done with that, and I'll focus on beating Ghost of Tsushima, and then I'll start chipping away some other games that I want to play. Like, I just got. They finally made Digimon Cyber Sleuth available on Steam again for me, so I bought that. So
Ooh.
I want to play that, like both of them. So that's nice. But yeah, I got a lot of games to keep me preoccupied during Christmas break.
Yeah, I played a little Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I borrowed the PS4 version from a friend, so I could at least test it out for the podcast. That's super fun. I do like the battle mechanics that they've done. But Yakuza 7 is very wacky. It's super different, new character. I've played 90 minutes of it, and I think only 10 minutes was playable. It was just all cutscenes, setting up a story and whatnot.
Yeah.
That is Yakuza. That is indeed Yakuza. Now,
Yeah.
I like it. They basically just went full on like, alright, so Yakuza's now a turn-based JRPG, and with special abilities and bunch of silly stuff and special special abilities and fucking summoning abilities. And shit
By
like
the
that,
way,
and
the main
like
character,
summon supporters. And
the main character is a delusional Yakuza who developed schizophrenia in prison and likes Dragon Quest. Like, okay, cool. Fun. Awesome. That is actually
Wow.
True, I think. That's why it's turn-based.
yeah, there's something like that.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten that far yet, but that sounds incredible.
Yeah, the fights are like turn-based because he's a Dragon Quest fan, and that's how he perceives the fights. It's not actually what is happening.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yeah. No, he did say that. That was quite
Yeah,
funny.
so people just joke around saying he has schizophrenia. He develops schizophrenia in prison.
Oh man.
But the trailer, the West release trailer for Yakuza 7 was great. It was so great.
Mhm.
You can
it's
summon a
good stuff.
lobster to help you, just like Yakuza 0 has the fucking chicken. You can recruit. Great. I still need to. Still need to go through Kiwami, but I'll buy a pad because playing Yakuza 0 on mouse and keyboard is fine. Kiwami is very hard, so I'll just buy a controller.
Yeah, buy a cheap one. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not that expensive. Shouldn't be. Well, never mind. You're in Brazil. I
Yeah.
never know. Every time I expect something to be cheap because it's cheap here, it's like you come on with, actually that's super expensive.
Yeah, that's the problem. The problem is I'll probably buy on Amazon because the only store I have that sells those kind of things are for the fancy games, the sweaty ones. So
Ooh.
they only have the expensive stuff. They don't have the cheap generic.
The pro gaming controller, dude. I just want to play some Yakuza.
Yeah, dude, just give me a PS. Doesn't even need to be a PS2. Just give the PS1 generic controller. I'll do something about the lack of
Why
joysticks.
don't you just go play Yakuza in real life? You already live in Brazil.
I was about to say, just pick up a knife or something and go outside
Well,
and be like, I'm the dragon of Dojima.
yes,
Get a tattoo on your back, a big dragon.
big dragon.
And then, you need to start working out a little bit as well. Gotta tone up a little bit more.
You got to
Okay.
you got to tone up. You got to learn some kung fu techniques, and then unlock a conspiracy that might shake the entire foundation of your town.
It shouldn't be too hard.
I was about to
totally
say that. Like, I don't think I need you to shake a little bit, especially because we just going through mayor elections, and you just see people backstabbing.
Oh, perfect. So you'll find the connection between corruption in the police force and how they pay off the local mafia, and you just gotta go through beating everyone up until you get your
That
answer.
shouldn't be too hard.
Nah, but it's just the beating people up to get the answers part.
Yeah,
That's the important part.
yeah, that is
Well,
true.
he'll have to train for that. Yeah.
I would be.
That's okay. Just do a training montage.
Yeah. Or just, get like $200 and buy a pistol. It's not that hard.
Sure, but it's not as fun.
Hey, they use pistols in fucking Yakuza.
Yeah, they do.
The golden pistol, the fucking broadcast machine gun you can do the little glitch. Fun times in Yakuza 0.
So, anyways, shall we review this anime?
I guess we've padded enough for time.
All right. Let's see. What drop should I play here? I got Astro Boy queued up as my cat almost spills the water off the table. That's pretty cool.
Go, 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 Astro Boy!
There we go. Nice and short. Galaxy Express 39, otherwise known as Galaxy Express 999. We all know what that, right? It's part of the Leggy-verse.
Yeah.
We've done Captain Harlock before, but I got the summary here from Anime Planets. Ever heard of a flying train? Tetsuro, living on a dismal Earth, wants to ride it to Andromeda so he can get a mechanical body that will enable him to live forever. With the help of the mysterious woman Maytel, Tetsuro braves many adventures on his way to Andromeda, heading towards a showdown with Count Mecha, an evil tyrant that brutally murdered his mother for sport. Will Tetsuro have the inner strength to face his monster on his own turf?
And that is just the beginning.
And that is more or less just the beginning. It's based on a manga. The anime goes 113 episodes. Every episode is available on Crunchyroll for free if you just sign up. That's how I watched them all. Kitty cat, come on, get over here. So bad. Toei Animation, 113 episodes. It aired from 1978 to 1981, and before this podcast, I had already previously watched every episode, and I've actually done a written review on it that you can find on my anime list.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I made a video on this show as well not too long ago.
you sure did.
Yeah.
So I read my review, and I do remember this little advice where I had where it's you can watch the first 8 to 12 episodes. There's the various 2-part episodes in between, and the last 10. So that's what I rewatched. It came out to about 26 episodes. So not bad. I had a lot of fun. The director of the show is Nobutaka Nishizawa, who's done Dragon Quest.
Sure has.
shows. Gotta keep the thing going there.
Did some Gegege no Kitaro as well.
Oh, we did Kitaro?
The 2007 version.
That one, okay.
Episode director for that, actually.
Slam Dunk. That's probably the one he's most famous for.
Mm-hmm. He also did Queen Millennia, which is a show that basically the show that came after it took over for Galaxy Express on TV. Wasn't quite as popular, but that is also a really good show that I've also done a video on, and not episodic at all, and 40-something episodes. Really, really good story. I wish it didn't get cancelled and taken off the air.
Yeah, it's a bummer. It seems to be par for the course with these old 70s animes.
Yeah.
70s and 80s.
Yeah, no, I think the problem for that show though was that people were so hyped on Galaxy Express when it was airing. It was really popular at the time, So, when it finally then ended, they were just like, all right, let's just jump right into the next one. They'd already been working on it for a while. They'd already decided it was basically just like, there wasn't even going to be a break. Like, Queen Millennia literally started like the week after in the same time slot. So
I
it's
didn't
like,
know
it
that.
just immediately went into it. And then, I think people were a little bit disappointed because it was kind of marketed as like, not a continuation, but like more Galaxy Express essentially. And then you
Right, not
go into
really
it, and then it's like, it's not actually Galaxy Express at all. As a matter of fact, most of it takes place on Earth. It is still sci-fi, but it's not, travel through space, adventure, stuff like that. It's, in my opinion, it's more interesting, but that's just me.
Right. So this is a long epic of an anime. We follow Tetsuro Hoshino, and it's kind of that old sci-fi question of, would you put your brain in a robot body? And there's a a cartoon show that I used to watch that had a whole episode of asking that constantly. The problem is, to get this, it's expensive, and he is poor. He is dirt poor. The only way to get a free pass, the only way to get a free mechanical body is to get this expensive train pass on the 3-9 train to take him to Andromeda.
It's not even that. It's like it's a rumor that says that if you can go all the way, you can get a free body. But as far as I'm aware, nobody's actually done it themselves. It's like it's still just a rumor, but it's the best way to have, right? Because in this world, there's like the huge class divide, right? You have the normal humans and the poor people, and then you have like the rich people, which are mostly comprised of cyborg people at this point.
Right.
At least that's what it's like on Earth. They go to different planets, and there are a little bit different situations across the universe, but they all follow a similar structure.
Yeah, they go to Mars, Pluto. Then they get out of the Milky Way and they keep going, and it's your adventure of just kind of imagination of, hey, we've arrived at the next place. And Tetsuro goes out. They always tell him to stay on the train. Of course, he never does. I've been on this train too long. I gotta. Okay, well, protect your pass, and he always loses it. It always gets stolen somehow. His life is threatened. He sees people die that he just meets like constantly. It gets a little stale if you go through it, like if you binge watch the show. But as an episodic adventure, it's quite fun. But there's a couple comic relief characters, mostly the conductor. He's always up to no good. Train in space, it can go on forever. You guys have a favorite episode, or did you like the plot? Whoa, cat, jeez.
Almost. I haven't watched the show.
The mic over.
I could have, in normal circumstances, watched the whole show in 2 weeks, but unfortunately I'm studying, so I couldn't. I watched the movie.
Yes, I was gonna bring that up. There is a compilation movie that's like 90 minutes.
No,
and
it's 2 hours.
Oh, it's 2 hours? I thought it was 90 minutes.
Yeah, 2 hours and 10 minutes.
So it's 2 hours. It's 2 hours, and it's more or less, I think, sums up the series pretty well in its like most important areas. Plus, it throws in some Captain Harlock in there just for the shits and giggles of it.
Gotta have Harlock in.
Yeah, you need to have her. Come on. That last fight scene where he's just outside in this space, fuck breathing, just piloting his huge ass ship. I love him. The man amongst men. Captain Harlock. Anyway, probably that's my favorite part of the show, not gonna lie. Or at least the movie.
Yeah, that's pretty good, yeah.
I'll say it is a fine summary. As someone who haven't watched the show, I understood point A to point B, but if you have the chance, and Crunchyroll has the full show, also, there's something called VPN if it's not available in your country.
Sure.
Watch the full thing. There was a lot of moments where scenes lacked the impact because I think they cut the wrong places. I understand they have like 2 hours to work with in a 113 like episode show. I understand it, but some things were cut off in the movie that didn't make a lot of sense. Like individual arcs in the movie, they would be extremely chopped. So like they are in, I think Pluto is a good example, where they store the bodies under ice.
Yep.
And Mato is like, please do not leave the station. I have some stuff to do. Stay here. And he's like, okay. And suddenly he's in the fucking graveyard. No explanations
right?
given. It's like, why did he chose to be? And he's having like all this philosophical thinking in crisis in the middle of the ice. And you're like, how did you get here to begin with? Why did you...
Well, the thing is, every episode is kind of like that, where she tells him to not fuck off, and he goes and fucks off, and then he has deep philosophical feelings and thoughts
like,
over whatever the theme is of the planet.
Like looking at, for example, the support characters in the show and comparing to the support characters of the movie, a lot of them are not even quoted in the movie, but at least gives in one of the episodes, especially such an important thing as the Pluto one. Why did he decide to go fuck off? I would think there
because he just does. That's what he does. He's Tetsuro.
But in the show, does he ever mention something? It's like, well, I'm curious to why she has such an important thing to attend. I'm going to follow her.
Basically, he does do that. He does do that. There is a
yeah. I wish they just...
He has the problem of he can't stay put. So even if he says yes, I'm going to stay put, he's never going to do it. He's never actually going to do it. He's still a kid. He's curious. But if I'm not mistaken, there is something that draws him away from the station in the first place, and he gets curious about metal. So that's kind of why he gets into that.
It's always one thing or another with him.
But metal is generally the cause because for almost all the show, she is portrayed as this mysterious person, right? She saves him after his mother gets killed, and she gifts him the ticket to the Galaxy Express and all of that, and only on the condition that she gets to follow him and all of these things, and she does a lot for him. But it always begs the question to him is like, why? Yeah. Like, he doesn't even know who she is. Why does she do this? Why does she care, or does she care? Is he being tricked?
Why does she look like his mother?
Yeah, why does she look like his mother? And why does he sometimes hear her talking to herself or someone, but never actually see? So there's a lot of like that, like who actually is Metal, which is obviously revealed later. But there's a lot of cool stuff, and a lot of times the special cool things, especially about, we've talked about this before on Leiji Matsumoto shows, is how his universe is intertwined. So it's cool, especially the more you watch of his stuff, the more you see other things come in. Like mentioned, Captain Harlock is obviously present in Galaxy Express because same universe. He is present in the show as well, not as much, but he has some cameo appearances.
Oh yeah, it was definitely fun. It was definitely interesting, especially when Tochiro appeared. I was like, oh shit, that dude, that is a computer in Captain Harlock. I was like, oh, he's alive yet, and like how it explains how like that dude was smart. He made a wireless soul transceiver out of junk. I was like, holy shit, that dude was some amazing motherfucker. Unfortunately, now he's a computer, but at least he has a daughter, I guess. That's good enough.
He sure does.
Yeah, it is definitely interesting. I just think like when it comes to the crop down version in the movie, would be nice for me, the Pluto one, to have a little bit more of context on how he ended up in the graveyard, and then suddenly he's just attacked by the, what is her name? The ice.
Shit.
The ice robot.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, the ice chick.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like,
okay. Yeah. No, well, I think it's always doomed to fail, right? Because it's like, if you want to recap Galaxy Express because it is so long, you technically need a few recap movies at least.
Yeah,
Because it's like one recap movie is not enough. It's still 113 episodes. I do agree that like not every single episode is super important. It is still very episodic, and for a lot of the episodes, it is kind of just go there, see something, experience that planet, leave again. Fuck, there are as the show progresses, there are even planets in the show, which is literally just, so. Anyways, we arrive there and nothing happened, and we're on to the next planet. It's like, okay, cool.
Right, not anything life-changing happens at every single stop.
Yeah, but it makes sense. It wouldn't.
There is some trippy shit though in the, show.
Oh hell yeah!
Like he gets to a planet and it's like a full-on LSD trip, and his life is in danger if he doesn't, like, I don't know, take some drug and get back onto the train within X amount of time. Otherwise, the drug will kick in.
Yeah.
Wacky shit. Now the character artwork is super unique. Tetsuro is a freak of a person. Maytel is beautiful, and then like the conductor, you don't know what the hell he is.
It's almost like this is a Legimas.
Yeah,
So,
right.
All right.
You have the very beautiful blonde that looks like every single beautiful blonde that he ever draw in his entire life. And then Emeraldus, because she's a little bit different. She has character.
A little bit. He's made points out of why. It's not I don't think it's a very good reason.
He likes
He
likes blondes.
Not just blondes. When he said his idea for the designs of his women are his ideal woman, essentially. Their ideal look.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think it says a little, like, you could question a little bit about that, because he says that he essentially likes sickly, thin, weak-looking women, which is he essentially likes to draw them that way, but he likes to portray them differently. He likes the
Boy gap.
the Moe gap, yeah, essentially,
Yeah.
right? They look weak, but they're not. That type of stuff. So it's like it's interesting, but I don't think that's a very good reason to draw all your characters like that. But I guess he's a more successful mangaka than I am, so what do I know?
Yeah.
What
It's
about the midgets?
the
then?
reasoning of
I don't know.
It's the same thing. It's
the
like,
re-
oh yeah,
God damn it,
let
Kat.
me just.
This is my ideal, man.
This is why a midget that is actually fucking awesome and just goes around with a fucking sword slashing motherfuckers. Yeah. It's like, hey, you might not like it, but this dude, it's the Mayo Moe gap. He's a midget with a fucking knife and a pistol, and the guy just wrecks. Except it's Harlock. Harlock is awesome.
You might not like it,
Aside Harlock,
male performance.
yeah. Aside Harlock is the man amongst men. But the
Oh,
average man is like Harlock's crew, a bunch of midgets, and they are fucking awesome as well. So like, why is that? It's the Tochiro as well. Tochiro and the what is the other one? The other one we watched, the Wild West one. That is also the Tochiro one.
Yeah. I don't remember the name.
So there's always the underlying theme is you can kind of look at an episode title, read the summary, and that's your life lesson Tetsuro goes through. Usually it involves death. Sometimes it involves someone having to change their body for whatever reason it might be. Like I'm looking at episode 8 here, Graveyard at the whatever it is. And I'm just using this as an example. We find out that Ruiz is a depressed woman who was betrayed by the man she loved while she was transforming her body for him. Tetsuro sympathizes with her, but tells her, I want to decide my future for myself. And it goes on, and you can just see a lot of these episodes' titles. Maytel of Mud.
Yeah.
With the Mud Capital. The Souls of Professions. Pirate Ship Queen. That's good. That's when you first meet Emeraldus, which is pretty sick. I love those episodes with Emeraldus, and that kind of cues into another series in itself. What else we got here? Female's Memories. As they approach the station, the face of memories, a woman passenger named Female,
Nice.
Yeah.
causes a
Sora.
disturbance on the train and derails the 3-9. However, it seems that she knew the conductor when he was young.
How the fuck do you
As
derail a
if to-
spaceship?
Don't worry
It's
about
not
it.
a spaceship. It's
It's a train.
Yeah, no, but they explained that like the train doesn't actually fly. It's on a it's still on a track of sorts. You just can't see it. That's why the train constantly derails and. But it doesn't explain why the train can get hijacked and get taken off the rails, which it does with the pirate dude, the fucking old retired pirate who just wants to see his family again. It doesn't really explain that, but you know, at least they tried.
Interesting.
It's a loose explanation. You're just gonna have to kind of live with it.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. Like I've said, we've talked about this before when it comes to Leiji Matsumoto. He does have it shows generally has moments where it's kind of like the logic becomes a little bit thin. So it's like you're kind of just gonna have to accept it. I think it at least tries to justify most things that he does, but it's not always like super tight logic. Like I think probably the thing that pissed me off the most, or one of the things that pissed me off the most about this series was in like episode 17, which is the Armored Planet. Which is basically where it's like everything is encased in super hard armor, so they get attacked by bugs and shit like that, and it's literally they're deadly because again they're encased in super hard armor. And then they run into this this robot who was trying to I think it was trying to heal his grandfather. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he's trying and he's attacking people, and he is also encased in super hard armor, and essentially his armor is unbreakable. And then you get that good old moment where at the end when Metal shows up and she has a gun, and it's like, and she's just like, I have a gun, and and the robot is just like, you can't hurt me, my armor's unbreakable. And Metal's like, yeah, but this is literally an unstoppable gun. And it's like, you're lying. And it turns out the gun was unstoppable. It's like unbreakable object meets or immovable object meets unstoppable force, and apparently unstoppable force wins. So if you've ever wondered that, there's your answer. It's kind of like he does do that sometimes, where it's like, what's the answer to this? Well, I have this gun that literally can't be stopped by anything. It's only gonna appear in this episode and never again. But we have this apparently.
Yeah. Which is like the thrill, not the overkill. So just gonna use it in this emergency and just stash it.
Yep.
Yeah, there's always this sense of protection in the show with the characters. It's a very high theme to it all. I do like how when the show continues on and you get deeper and deeper into the episodes, they start doing things like, we will be at this station for, like I'm looking at episode 85 here, 38 hours and 14 minutes. Because generally, because he loses his ticket all the time, or he's in some sort of life-threatening position, he might miss the train. So they always make it, at least later in the show, they make it a precedent to tell you how much time is left. That gives you a little bit more stress and edge of your seat kind of watching, which I think is good. I think they did a good job with that.
Yeah. He even does miss
woman.
the train at a certain point, which again comes into that whole kind of plot protection thing, which they kind of break their own rules. But it's
kind of, yeah. I don't think it's egregious enough though to
it's not.
derail
It
the
makes
show,
sense. They
will.
they kind of made a point out of that before. Talked to the conductor a couple times how he's a bit too much of a stickler for the rules at times, considering what the fuck is going on. It's like yeah, but the company says that I have to, and it's like, yeah, but use your brain. Come on.
Right.
It makes sense in and of itself, but it is like, it does kind of become almost like that one time where it actually becomes relevant. Oh shit, he missed a train. That doesn't matter, they turned around. But it is what it is.
So, does the show have a satisfying ending? After this big, long, expansive journey of going planet to planet, learning life's lessons, dangers, the sanctity of what a human life means, we end up getting to Andromeda. Is it satisfying? What happens, what's revealed, and the ultimate decision he makes?
So
it wasn't even the decision.
Just
done it.
Yeah.
He got even
he does
taunted
have
by
it.
the little voice thing. It's
Yep.
like, go Tetsuro,
No.
kill me in the fucking fire, kill the planet, I know you can. And he didn't even finish the sentence. Tetsuro just grabs and shoots that thing in the core of the planet. No questions asked. I was like, oh shit, no hesitation at all. Doesn't give a shit.
So here's my thing, right? When it comes to especially Galaxy Express, I think especially here, how satisfying that ending is can kind of depend on how much you already know about the
Universe?
the Legiverse.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Becomes a little bit fucky because there is stuff, and this kind of goes into how Leiji Matsumoto writes. It's not really pre-planned because there's a lot of cool details about that ending that I didn't know when I watched this. I learned it later.
Oh, do tell.
Because he kind of the way he writes, right? He wrote Queen Millennia after, but Queen Millennia is technically a prequel to Galaxy Express. So you have kind of the whole thing with Queen Prometheum, the second,
Okay. Yeah.
the big queen, like how she is essentially behind all of this and how she is doing, which I think is really interesting because since I watched Queen Millennia, Yayoi in that show, or Queen Millennia herself, which is kind of that like evil good character. She's perceived evil, but she tries to do good. She is the one who will eventually become Queen Prometheum II, taking over from her mother, who was a tyrant. So I think it is kind of interesting to see how despite that she herself so hard fought against her own mother, who was a tyrant, how in the end she is essentially destined to go down the same path, which ties into the whole metal story and all of this. There's a lot of cool.
She's destined to go down her own path as well, but she wants to do something different.
Well, yeah,
but you can't. It's the whole you can't fight your own fate.
Basically,
morality story to it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like they do.
I mean, it can be that.
They
it
do
can
touch
be also,
on this in the
like when she got into the clothes, she was like, "Oh, my mother wasn't that bad. It's actually the way I should behave as well. Like this is the only way. It's not that I'm bad. It's not that I'm going through like the same thing. I'm a piece of shit. It's just that it's the position. The position demands I behave this way." And
yeah, that's right. And that's the point, right?
Yeah.
Because the original Queen Prometheum, she is the same way. Like I said, she is a tyrant. She uses slavery and she imprisons people from Earth and other planets to do the dirty work. Why does she do that? Well, it's so her own people can live prosperously. Why is she so hell-bent on destroying Earth? Because if she doesn't, their planet will be destroyed. They will collide with Earth and everybody will be wiped out. It's like, that's what I mean, right? It's kind of inevitable. It's not like, oh, they're super bad people who do evil stuff. They do evil stuff, but it also kind of depends on your perspective.
Right.
The people on their planet.
In the eyes of, in the eyes
people
of
on their
Earth,
planet wouldn't
they
be
are the
fucking
bad
like,
guys.
yeah, in the eyes of the people on their planet, they would not be like, oh, the horror, she is killing innocent Earthlings. It's like, oh, we're gonna die if she doesn't. It's like, actually, all of us are gonna die if she doesn't.
Right.
There is no winning here. So it's like,
it's super interesting. That's for sure.
And they do touch on that a little bit in the show itself. But it's like the more you watch, the more you or read of Leiji Matsumoto's universe, the more it keeps harping on those same themes, and the more that becomes present. So I think it's like the more you experience his stories, the bigger the impact will have, in my opinion. But I did still enjoy the ending. I thought it was good even by itself.
Well, it's kind of like continuing the Yamato series in that same way. With each new iteration of the universe, you discover that much more and how deep it can be and how much he keeps adding. And it's not just one world. He adds to the entire universe that goes in. Yep. I love that about Leiji Matsumoto, and I love that about the Galaxy Express series in general.
Yep.
How you keep learning, and there's fun things in there, like there's a lot of Western themes and tones to it, old Western stories, and
he's a big fan of Western movies.
Yeah, standoffs at the Golden Corral kind of deal.
Yeah. Now, like I said, I've touched upon this before. I don't think Matsumoto is the like most tightest writer or even the greatest writer.
No,
But he is.
no, no.
But what he really nails every time, well, not every time, but a lot of times, he always gets this sort of like this baseline of just fun and interesting concepts going. Right? It's like even watching like Captain Harlock and watching even that like Western show, kind of weird Western show. It's like it's not necessarily always the greatest show to watch, but it's still fun. You still enjoy yourself. It's like cool. And the same thing goes here, right? Galaxy Express 39. It's fun. The space adventure. It's a lot of fun. The references, everything, and how it expands on its own universe. It's enjoyable. Yeah, sure. Logically, it's flimsy at times, but who cares? It's enjoyable.
Yeah, like I think it was episode. Let's see, I'm finding it now. Episode 99. Like, just the imagination of, because it's all you already have this universe where anything and everything is possible, and just because it's not in the realm of, say, Earth's limits, that doesn't mean the next planet they go to has the same limits. So here's one I found super interesting. It was 4-dimensional elements. It's in the bottom of the city, buildings rise as high and go down as deep as humanity can handle. Tetsuro and Maytel check into their hotel there, because they always do. In every episode, gotta go to the hotel.
Yep.
But it seems best not to use the elevator. Of course, Tetsuro becomes worried when someone named Kezuluna calls out to Maytel, so he uses this mysterious elevator to search for her, and that's when he gets into the shenanigans of that episode. It's the curiosity gets there, and it's all based on an elevator in a building, and it goes high and low. That's it. And it's super interesting. You just get caught up in the journey with Tetsuro's discovery. So you feel the same curiosity he does, even though you do go, dude, how many times is it going to take for you to almost die for you to say, maybe I should just stick on the train?
Yeah, Tetsuro's not the brightest. Then again, that's where one of those things was like, I know people are going to have different tolerance levels for that. For me, it makes sense. Like, it's acceptable because they still get back to the same thing. Tetsuro is a kid. Yeah, sure, he's not a genius. He's kind of dumb, actually. But he's a kid. His curiosity is going to get the better of him. Makes sense.
From the boonies.
Yep. It's like, fucking, tell me a kid that you haven't fucking, like, if you're a parent, how many times have you told your kid not to do something, and then he goes and be like, yeah, but what if I do, though?
Oh my god, yeah, it's yeah. It's the old, you put a button in front of the child, and you tell him, whatever you do, don't touch the button. And then he'll stare at it, and eventually he always touches the button. Well, yeah, that's Tetsuro. That's
not even that example is not even just for kids though. It's like, fucking, there's nothing worse than being told not to do something and then giving no explanation as to why. Like, don't touch this. But I want to.
But what if I do?
I want to though.
Now I won't. Now I really want to.
But yeah, there's other fun stuff in there. Like I said, just the fun references. Like, there's like a fucking Tarzan-esque episode as well in there.
Oh yeah, there's Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
There's just like any famous sci-fi movie from the 50s, 60s, 70s is gonna be in this show. So if you've also seen a shit ton of them, Doctor Who including, there's a lot of Doctor Who callback episodes in this. Where they all kind of cross over, or the same themes are played. Because I've seen so much of it, I was like, hey, that's from that one. I can't wait to see how they kind of put a spin or twist on it in the same way. Of course, there's like 1,000 Deadwood type episodes because he loves the Western stuff. I'm shocked there wasn't like a lot of fighting giant mechs. Very shocked.
Kinda, but I think that's kind of what helped the show stand out as well in popularity. It's like, because obviously big sci-fi, big mech, big robot things were, it was the trend at the time. It would continue to be the trend.
It was.
So it's like, I think that's kind of it helped make Galaxy Express stand out from everything else. It was just like, but where's the giant robot?
There's got to be one eventually, right?
Yeah, I mean, kinda. But not really.
I mean, technically, they fought a giant robot, which was the planet itself. No?
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that did
Yeah.
happen, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I see. I was about to
You
say,
can
why
still
fight
that.
one giant robot if you can fight a planet of small robots? But then I realized that
Yeah.
technically the planet is called Mechanized Planet Metal.
Right.
So like I guess it's a robot with human bones holding it together.
Yep.
Yeah. Weird stuff that doesn't
there's
make a
a lot
lot of
of that.
sense. Let's see.
Huh.
I guess when it comes to the movie, it wasn't satisfying. I'll probably watch the show. Definitely, that is what I got out of it. It is satisfying enough to make me interested in watching the show. Also watching Sayonara Ginga Tetsudo or Adieu
Yeah.
Adieu
Yeah.
Galaxy Express, which is the sequel movie. But
Yeah,
first,
I
I
actually
will
have-
watch.
I actually have that on DVD
First,
too.
I'll watch the.
Oh, you guys should watch that. It's really interesting. I like the kind of callback. It is the sort of movie you expect. It's like you thought everything was over, but shit has gone to hell.
Right.
It's kind of that type of thing, and then it goes in and it becomes fucking like super psychedelic, and it's just like, oh, I love that. I love that movie.
So here's a question that I was kind of contemplating while watching this. It's the concept of mother computer on the train. How the computer is the control all be all, but there's various episodes where they have to actually talk to the computer or negotiate with it. What do you think about the concept that the conductor is basically just listening to this computer the whole time? He doesn't have a true prime directive, if you will. It's just a set path and course.
Like that the conductor is only listening to the computer.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Like I said, they touched on that a little bit. They do find him to be very hard-headed because he's such a stickler for the rules of what the company says, and then kind of what the ultimately what the main computer says, because that's the one that decides.
Right.
You can't really change what the computer does unless you can speak to it. So, yeah, sure. I do think they kind of touch on that a little bit, since he does start to decide to break away a little bit from what he should do towards the end. But you can kind of say the same thing for the computer a little bit. There are some things that happens along the way that kind of falls outside of proper like ruling, like what should we do in this situation. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have an answer here.
Okay. The other thing that I noticed the series did was the closer we get to, our main destination, you get a lot more, I guess, I don't want to say insect people, but humans become less human as they go on.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was on purpose or he was just finding a different theme for this set of episodes.
I, obviously without knowing anything, I think it's probably the idea of things being more alien the further you are from home.
Yes,
I
was thinking the same way.
But again, I don't know for certain. I haven't read anywhere if he's ever actually addressed that or not. So,
Like,
but in my mind, it makes sense to be that way.
Yeah, because the whole series theme is how much do you put pride in your humanity, and if Tetsuro meets all these people that aren't perceived as human, they are perceived as, I don't know, bats and shit. Then do they have the same sense of pride of their corporeal beings, right? I found that quite interesting, and I can totally understand where the theme and line was coming from. Very interesting. It's like I could see like a school classroom like breaking down an episode and its theme and constantly just going over these things, because it's a philosophy class in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Unless it's a filler episode.
Well, I mean, yeah, they exist.
There are quite a few of them.
I mean, fuck, it's 113 episodes, episodic. Of course, there's going to be some filler.
Yep.
Not a lot, though. Only a few.
No, I mean, I think they all serve a purpose to exist in the end. It all becomes for the greater purpose, but it is kind of, there are certain episodes, I would assume anyways, it was for me, where it's like, when you watch this, you're kind of going to be like, haven't we already done this? Haven't we already touched upon this? It kind of feels like a repeat.
Yeah, kind of. All right. Hickey, you got anything else you want to say over Galaxy 3-9?
It's definitely worth watching. I guess this as one of the last shows in the Leiji Matsumoto universe. Probably to get you hype up for the last fight, I guess. Knowing the characters, knowing where they're coming from, and just
I think it's one of
watching
those
fucking Hairlock piloting a spaceship from the outside with no air whatsoever because he's so cool. Those kind of things. Or Queen Emeralda, where she's come from. If you just start by Galaxy Express 390, you're gonna miss also who Tochiro is and how important he is.
Mm-hmm.
Like those kind of little details. Interestingly enough, although this is a prequel, it's better to start from the finishing line and do your go back in time, which is usually it's quite interesting, honestly.
I do think it's one of those things which, like, it kind of depends on how you like your stories. If you like to know everything when you go through it, yeah, I agree. You should definitely start here. But I do also think it's one of those things like you can fill in the blanks later on. So it's like it's nothing wrong necessarily by watching Galaxy Express, and then if you have an interest in this, go on. But again, it's difficult to start. There's 113 episodes, so just watch Captain Harlock and then go on to a lot of the other stuff. Queen Millennia, I highly recommend, even though it didn't get its proper dues and was cancelled. It's really good. Obviously, there's a lot of OVAs about Queen Emeraldas and stuff like that, as well as Metal. Metal has her own story, which I know people don't like that much, but it's okay. Right? There's a lot of it. And with most things like Matsumoto, it's going to be hit or miss. Not everything he does is like amazing. I wouldn't even say this is amazing, but it's good. It's enjoyable.
Whoa!
And
Blasphemy.
I know, right? I know. But again, it's a fun experience. It's something that I kind of miss a little bit in modern anime, like the whole just huge expanding universe of stories. Not, especially now, because now everything is like, new season, new sequel, or a new show that hopefully will make it big. That didn't make it big, fuck it, move on to something else then. It's like, I do kind of miss this whole like, we like this author, so we're just gonna fucking make everything he makes and make a big universe around it.
Yeah, I guess what is the last one to do that? Monogatari?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good callback there.
I guess so.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Let's
put
so.
Monogatari. We still have Fruit of Desire going. That one as well.
You do, but I'd still kind of say that's still mostly in terms of like sequels. I know they change up, like with the newest one, they've changed the
main characters.
Yeah, but it's I don't know. Maybe it will be. Maybe Strike the Blood will be the next one because that thing gets a new OVA every fucking other year or something like that.
Don't encourage Hickey.
Wait, what?
That would be encouraging me. I like Strike the Blood for as dumb as it is.
I don't know why my mind went Strike Witches there. Maybe it's
it's
okay. Like every
Strike the Blood.
It's okay. You just got used to it. It's a force of the habit.
I hear Strike and it just goes one way now.
I mean, technically it could go, but they don't do everything. They're just like, you have this ever-expanding universe that is really cool, that is now entering Jet Age, but what about an idol show, huh? It's like, cool. I'm not sorry.
As long as the story around it makes sense and you can tie it to a certain timeline in the story, why not?
The thing is, they did, and that makes me angry. That thing makes me angry. I want to see the jet era, but anyway, regardless, this is not about strike wages. Yeah, it is. Because Leiji Matsumoto is a very interesting guy.
What would you score the movie, Hickey, since that's what you watched?
I thought scoring it a 5, but I end up giving it a 6 because at the end of the day, I am interested in watching the show and then watching the sequel movie. So I guess it fulfilled one of its purposes in the end. One of them being a recap, the other one, if you don't have the time to watch the whole series, get you invested or at least interested in watching everything.
There you go. I scored the series a 6 as well, just because it is more of the episodic sequence to it all. Some things do rinse repeat. It can get overbearing at times, but at the end of the day, it's totally fine. I'm interested in always looking at more, and I think that is perfectly okay.
Yeah, definitely.
And I do recommend it. I do recommend it.
Oh, I recommend it as well. I recommend it to a couple of people. I know it's going to be a little bit hit or miss for people. It kind of depends on how well you deal with episodic shows and kind of what you value. Like I said, there are annoyances in here. It's kind of unavoidable. It's Leiji Matsumoto. If you've seen one Leiji Matsumoto show, you know what you're getting. But I enjoy the show a lot. I watched it in like less than 2 months, which is pretty impressive for me, since it's a lot of episodes. And yeah, I actually really enjoyed it, so I gave it a 7.
Ooh, there you go. All right. So we're all kind of in the same ballpark of it all.
Like I said, it's not mind-blowing by any means. There are issues here and there, but god damn it, it's fun to watch.
Well, okay. Our next episode, we are reviewing Violence Jack and Project A-ko.
Yes. Great. A Christmas anime.
That's right. It's a classic. It's amazing storytelling at its best.
Can't wait there. So yeah, this was episode 88, Anime Edition, Red Leaf Retrocast. We'll see you next time, everybody.
Peace.
Bye.
目を閉じて思い出す母さんの面影遠く離れた青い地球よ安らかに眠れ星が